following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix. This is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thanks for tuning into the program. Today's Bible study, Departing Pastors. The end of the church age in the United States. Folks, you need to hear this radio program today. Man, you're not going to believe it. I've been warning you about it for the last 7 years. It's coming to life right now as I'm speaking to you. Please call somebody and tell them the radio program's on. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in downtown Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. HardcoreChristianity.com is the website. If you go there, you'll see we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday nights at 7 o'clock, Arizona and Pacific time. Both these services have preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance, and they are broadcast on our streaming channel. Our streaming channel is youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. When you go to the website, you can sign up for one of our free seminars. You can sign up for my deliverance training class. It's the 4th Saturday of every month at noon. The elections are coming up, as you know, and they're going to create another virus. They took a shot at it with monkeypox, but that's not going to spread fast enough. They're going to come up with another one, probably another COVID-19 variant. But they need to do that because they need drop boxes, printing ballots, ballot harvesting, the usual thing. They need 2,000 more mules to come through and, giving us another fake election. Unbelievable. But if you need a religious exemption for the 5th or 6th booster, okay? The 5th or 6th booster. Can you imagine that? Big Pharma ran off with billions of dollars in taxpayer money and zero liability. Send me an email, Mike@HardcoreChristianity.com. I will send you a religious exemption today. If you know somebody who needs to be delivered and they can't come to the Deliverance Center, send me an email, Mike@HardcoreChristianity.com. I will send you the Miracle, Healing, and Deliverance list, a step-by-step guide to freedom that works 100% of the time. Departing Pastors, a new survey came out. I've been talking about this for, I believe, 7 years. Barna did another survey, and what is currently happening is exactly what I predicted would happen 7 or 8 years ago. Driven by despair because of stress, loneliness, and political divisions and other worries, which includes their churches being in decline. I've done several radio programs, by the way, over the years on the decline of church attendance in America. It's getting worse, particularly since the lockdowns, and that was one of the purposes of the lockdowns, was to shut the churches down and cause their attendance to decline. The government knew that if they shut the church down and they went to Zoom, people would attend for a while, then they would just simply drift off, which is what happened. Okay? In this new survey, pastors are more likely now to be leaving their careers than ever before. I mean, it's getting scary. Okay? When they interviewed these pastors, full-time ministry pastors, the desire to quit increased from 29% in 2021 to 42% in March of 2022. Can you imagine that? I mean, that's significant. That's dramatic. They interviewed 413 senior Protestant pastors. Okay? They also did an online survey of 510 Protestant pastors. The devil is ripping the churches to pieces, and the ones that are not closing, he is turning into a bunch of seeker-friendly, gutless, entertainment-based systems that can't and won't save people's souls and can't and will not deliver them from demons, period. In this Barna survey, 56% pastors considered quitting last year. 56%. Why? The stress of the job. 43% reported that, quote, I feel lonely and isolated. 38% said, quote, current political divisions in the church encourage them to quit. 24% of the pastors said they are considering leaving their church because of low church attendance. Low church attendance. Can you imagine that? The churches are being abandoned by people, and particularly the young people, and they're just bored with it. They're bored with it. This has been a process that's been implemented by Satan, 75 years ago. What the devil did was he took deliverance out of the church, and he replaced deliverance with seeker-friendly doctrines like prosperity, abundance, increase, seeker-friendly doctrines like everybody's a child of God, everybody's saved, God doesn't judge anybody anymore, it's all about love. And all these seeker-friendly doctrines swept through the church, and incredulously, everybody believed it. And because of that, the churches lost their power to deliver people from drug addiction, alcoholism, mental illness. All of these things are increasing dramatically in the United States as I'm speaking to you. We're seeing record numbers of people dying from drugs, 101,000 last year alone. We're seeing record numbers of young people committing suicide because of the influence of pot and social media. Young people are becoming increasingly more isolated, embittered, angry, furious, and infected with demons. And suicides are at record levels all over the country, and particularly among our youth and among our veterans. Suicide is at an absolute epidemic in the military. The military has gone woke. They have become an adversary of the Lord Jesus. And the military has set up a system that fosters suicide, PTSD, and stress-related illnesses. The military has now gone woke and actually believes in transgenderism, trans soldiers. Can you imagine back in the World War II if you had trans people in the military? Can you even imagine that? I mean, how in the world would you put a trans male in the military? They can't meet the physical requirements of the job. Women cannot pass the boot camp stress and physical agility required to become a soldier. The military went woke and lowered the standards, allowing in substandard soldiers who can't meet previous criteria for physical skills and agility. They don't have any programs for PTSD. They do not have any programs, counseling programs, significant enough to stop the chronic habitual pandemic of suicide in the military. And that suicide has spread to our society and among our young people, and it's at critical mass as I'm speaking to you. This is all the devil's plan to kill as many people as he can over the next few years and to take over our society and have it dominated by the government. And once it's dominated by the government, the devil can simply control the people by forcing them to do what the government wants them to do. It's happening right now in New Zealand, Australia, Russia, China, and now Canada. Canada has now banned all guns. They are able to check your bank account out and freeze your assets. They did it to the truckers last winter. They are taking over and dominating their society. They are disarming their citizens so their citizens cannot fight back. The exact same thing is going to happen here in America. They are going to come for your guns. You heard it here first. Okay? This Barna survey revealed that pastors were at burnout levels that were higher than have ever been recorded in the United States. Highest levels of burnout facing these preachers. Okay? Listen, can you be helped? Are you a pastor and you're thinking about quitting? Give me a call, 602-636-5800. I can help you. You're eligible for free counseling services at the Arizona Deliverance Center. I've been counseling ministers, pastors, preachers for decades. I've been a professional counselor for 40 years. If you need help and you're suffering from depression, you're considering suicide, and you're a born-again Christian, the services are free. The services are free, and you can be healed and delivered. I see it all the time. I'm not making this up. I guarantee what I'm saying is true. I can prove what I'm saying is true. You can be delivered and you can be healed. 602-636-5800. You do not have to burn out. You do not have to become an addict. You do not have to suffer with PTSD. If you're a veteran and you're a born-again Christian, you're eligible for free counseling services at the Deliverance Center. Please come now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.